Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. It's me Anil and we are in the series of online job portal using ASP.NET. In previous video, that is part number 9, we have seen how we can display the list of jobs in a user panel or user module, and in today's video, that is part number 10, we are going to see how we can display the details of a job. when we click on when we click on a particular job in a list of job page, from a list of job page, like suppose I am clicking on the first one job, so it should take me to the job details page and should show the specific details of that job. Okay, so for that we have already page here. Okay, so we are getting the id here, job id with the query string. Okay, so we'll get fetch data from database with the help of job id. Okay, so based on that we'll display details here of the particular jobs. Okay. Okay, so let's close this. Let's open that page, go to solution explorer. In user folder we have job details page. Open that. Now okay, first of all we'll take here one label control. First take div, then label control from toolbox. Double click on it. Let's change id of it. LBL message. Remove this text property from here and set visible equal to false. Save it. Now here job post company start. So here the details of company of the job displays here. The code for that is start from here. Okay, so for displaying the details of the job we are going to take control, data list control. Okay, so the actual content that we're going to start, that is from here. Okay, so let's close this. Okay, so go to toolbox, inside data, double click on data list. So data list has been added here. Okay, uh, just select this whole div tag from start to end. Okay, just cut it, enter, take here item template, enter, and paste it here. The code that we have cut uh, cut from there, I pasted it inside this item template. Okay, inside the item template. Okay, now let's create an event or two event for the data list control. That is on item command, create event, enter. The second event, on item data bound equals to enter. So the both of the event has been created in the code behind page of these job details. Okay, now we have taken the data list control for displaying the data of the job. Okay, but we didn't apply here the logic for displaying the data from the database. Okay, so for that let's take here one function. So before that let's take here some common codes that we are going to use in this page. Let's copy from the previous one. Open this, copy it, paste it here. Let's add the namespace. Okay, here we'll take two data table. Okay, save it. Now here we'll take one function for displaying the data in the data list control. Okay, open this job listing page that we have done in the previous video. We'll copy this code from here, copy, paste it here. Okay, so remove this last line, and here we don't need this part, remove it. As well as remove this also. Let's align the code. Select this function, press Ctrl K D. So the code will go to aligned. Okay, now let's change the function name from show job list to show job detail. Job details. Okay, so let's change the query as well. We want all data to be displayed here, so we'll remove the column names. We'll give asterisk here for all the columns. Okay, but we have to pass the id also, no, because we are getting the id from the previous page, the job listing page. When we click on a particular job, it take us to this job details page, right? But from there we are passing the job id, so we have to take that job id here, that is query string. Okay, uh, from that id you're going to display the job details here, right? So from there for that we need to write here one condition where job id, that is the column name, equals to @ id. Okay, now here after the SQL command, enter cmd dot parameters dot add with value. Now here within double quotes we need to pass the parameter id, scalar variable. Okay, then the value for that is coming from query string. So for that we need to write here request dot query string, and the name for the query string. that is ID. Okay, then rest of the code will, I think, remain same. Okay, so let's just save it. Now we want to display when the page load the browser. At that time we need to display this data, right? So we need to call in the page load event. This function we need to call in the page load event. But before we'll check here. Okay, if we directly call function here, okay, just save it and let's run and see in the browser. Now still we are getting the static uh, data for the job details, okay, but we need the data that we are getting from our database table, right? So we need to change here, like in the data list control, we have taken the data list control for displaying this data from here, which is coming from database. Okay, so how we'll do that? Let's go to the design page, the job details. Okay, then first the image is there, like the image will display, but we'll see afterward rest of the details will display, then we'll see the image part. Okay, so here first, that is what you can say, that is a job title. Okay, so we'll see first that is here, right? Digital marketer. So we'll select this part and remove it. Now here take angular bracket. Okay, then percentage hash eval. Eval is a function here, okay, to bind the data that we are getting in to this control, that is the data list control. Okay, so that's the column name we have to pass here, like for which column data we are going to bind here, the that is the title. Save it, refresh here. Here data will going to change for the job title. So here we can see web developer. Okay, so title has been changed here. Let's do same for others also. So here we'll remove this part. Let's copy code here, copy, paste it here. Instead of title we'll give here company name. Company name. Then here paste here. Let's give here state. Select this, paste here. Let's give country. All here the text inside this function I am giving, that is the tables column name from the job table. Okay, now here salary, paste here. Okay, save it. Okay, let's see in the browser, refresh the page. You can see your data has been changed. Salary, then state and country, company name. Okay, let's do same for all the the other details of the job. Okay, so here inside the job description, that is here inside this P block, P tag, just select this whole data from here, remove it. Okay, now paste here code, description. After that, here we'll comment this four line of code. Press Ctrl KC, so it will going to comment it out. Now in the first one, we'll give our code here to bind the column. So here the specialization data will go to here appear. So we'll give here the column name specialization. Okay, specialization, IZAION, specialization. Then after that, in education and experience. Okay, so uh, just select this last three line of code and comment it out. Now in the first one, select it, paste, paste. Now here qualification, qualification. Then here just below that we'll give experience. Okay, then job overview here, that is posted date. So we'll display the date when the job is posted. Okay, so we'll remove this date from here. Now paste that code for here. The same for this location also. Remove this, paste here. I can see, paste, paste, salary, paste, then again here date, paste. Okay, so we have replaced the code here from our code. Now we need to display which column data will display here. Okay, so here for the location, sorry, for the date, posted date. Okay, uh, the date, we need to format the date, okay, while displaying in the browser. So for that, here we'll use just before this eval, that is data binder, data binder dot. Now remove this space. Okay, data binder dot eval. Then here inside this, just before the title, just before the title, we'll give here container dot data item, comma. So from which column the data is coming, the column name, then comma. So here we'll give the format, in which format it needs to be displayed in the browser. Okay, so for that let's take double quotes within the curly bracket, front close, 0 hyphen small double d, space capital M 4 times space then small y 4 times. Okay, save it. Okay, now let's copy this code from here till here. Copy it and paste it here. Okay, and here, okay, the column name we need to change here, that is created date. Create date. Okay, in our uh, tables column we have taken create date. Okay, okay, so let's copy it, paste it here also. Save it. Now for the location we take here state, then vacancy, number of posts, that is the column name, then the job nature, that is job type, then salary. Save it. Here also we need to add for these three data name, web and email. So we'll copy here, just copy from here and paste it here. So here email will come, then website, then company name. Okay, so let's save it. Refresh the browser page by F5. Now you can see all the details of the job is now coming from our database table. Only this image is left. We'll see that also in a bit. Okay, so your job description, like what job description is for, and the required knowledge for these skills or whatever. So just this is basic skills it has required for this job, and the education's first one, then second one is for experience. Okay, like that way you also can see posted date when the job is posted and the job location where it is, like this here state we have displayed. Okay, then the vacancy, how many vacancies there, the job nature, part-time, full-time, whatever, the salary and the application date till when this job, like we can apply. But both of the same, that not should be. Okay, press your, go to find a job page and see not. Let's open our database. So here jobs table. Okay, uh, last date applied. Okay, so just copy it and paste here instead of created. Okay, posted date, that will come, that is when the job is created, right? So that there will be will give here create date columns, and when should be the last date to apply, that columns name we need to pass here. Okay, inside this application date. Save it. Sorry, here, refresh it. Okay, let's click on the first one now. Can see here, yeah, the last date, the date is changed from the posted date. Okay, Now let's do this for this image also, and here also you can see the job title, a job post name appears at the header image. Okay, upon the header image, so we'll change that also, like it will come dynamically, like it's a web developer here, so web developer will come here. Okay, so mm, okay, so first of all let's do this the image part, then we'll display this part also. Okay, so let's go to our Visual Studio, stop it. Now here for the image we need code that we have already used in the previous videos lecture. Okay, so that is this one. Copy this code and paste at the end. Okay, save it. Now go to the design page where the image is displayed, that is here, I think. Yeah, it's here. So let's remove the content or data inside this source attribute of this img tag. Okay, so let's take here Angular bracket, then the percentage hash. Now we will going to call the function name get image URL, bracket open and close. Here we'll take eval function. Okay, because we need to pass the columns data from which columns we are going to get the image path. So let's take double quotes and give the image path column name, that is company image. Company image. Okay, and we need to give here the image size also, like give here width equals to 80. Okay, can give anything here, like whatever the image size you want. Okay, I'm saving it. Now as I said, we'll need to change this here also at the header image, that is hero image at the top. The header at the head is displaying. Okay, so here we need to change, but it's outside this data list control. We have taken the data list control is here, but how we can give the that data that is bind to a data list, and we can't use outside this data list. Okay, so how we'll do that, let's see. Right now we are displaying this calling this function inside this page load event. Okay, but like I want to use that one, the job title, outside this data list control. For that I will going to take, so let's copy this event, that is page load event. Okay, and paste it here, and here we'll change the here page event name, this one event name from uh, page load to page init, that is page initialize. Okay, so it will going to call just before this page load. First it will going to call or run this event page init, then it will going to call this page load event. Okay, so we'll remove this function from here because it's going to already call in this event. Okay, so we'll take here, but before that we need to check, like the query string that we are going to get from this previous page, from this from the origin page, like it is coming from the job listing page, right? So we need to check here whether the query string is value is present or not. Okay, if it is not there any data in the query string, will take back to the job listing page. Okay, so here it will check not equal to null, then we'll going to now here we'll take one variable, string variable, for displaying our that job title. Okay, so we'll take here one public string variable, starting we'll take empty string dot empty. Okay, now I want to bind the that title name inside this variable. So the data we are going to get, that is from here dt object, right? So we'll bind here inside this function. Okay, enter here. Let's call the variable that is job title equals to dt dot rows, then at 0 index the row name in the double quotes, that is title, and it should be in string format. So let's convert it into string semicolon. Now we can get this the job title in this variable job title variable. Okay, now the problem is how we can bind that inside this design page. How will going to display in the design page? For that, like it should be in page init event. Okay, then we're going to call that here one function here is there that we need to call, that is data bind. It's a function. Okay, so what happens when this data bind calls, that we are going to call this variable in the design page. Okay, where we need to display it. So let's select this, remove it. Now here Angular bracket, open Angular bracket, percentage hash the variable name, that is job title. Now we can access that job title variable inside the design page as well. Okay, let's save it. Now that title part is over, but we need to display that image. Okay, that image also is over. Now here one more thing is left, like the else part we need to give the logic. We have taken the if here, like if it's there then we'll going to display the data. If it's not there, then what we'll do, the else part will take the user to the previous page from which page they are coming, like that is the job listing page, right? So we'll make them redirect to that the previous page. Okay, the origin page, response dot redirect, that is here job listing dot aspx. Save it. Yeah, page name is, yeah, right. Save it. Now let's run it and see. can see here the job title is appears at the top of the image. Okay, and here, okay, so the image is also now displaying here. Okay, now what I want to do, yeah, this one here, that is the button that here we need to change this button, and when we click on it, it's the job should be applied, okay, to the particular user. That means users should be login, right? On Before clicking on this apply now, the user must be logged in. If it is not, then we'll make them redirect them to the login page, right? So let's do that part also. Okay, let's close it. Go to the design page. Okay, here company name we need to give. Just copy this code and paste it here. Save it. And here also we need to give some. Okay, we'll give here the company address over here. Okay, company address, and what we can give. Okay, let's give the company address. That's it. So we'll remove the text from here and paste it. And here, let's give here address. Okay. Now here at the starting, we'll take here HTML bold tag. Within that, we'll take address text. Okay, address colon. Then this our eval function. Okay, for binding the data. Okay. Now here save it. What we want here, like here, this one. It's an anchor tag. So we'll remove this apply now anchor tag from here. Let's make comment, select this line, press Ctrl K C. So enter. Now we'll take here one link button, or what can, yeah, yeah, we'll take here link button. Go to toolbox, link button, double press on it, double click on it. Okay, now here link button, let's change the ID of it. LB, that is link button, and what we want name here for, like apply job, right? This button is for applying job. Apply now. This will be the text of this link button. Okay, then the ID and the text we have given. Now here CS class is used, that is PTN. So we'll give a class also, that is CSS class for this dotted controls. Okay, and your class name, that is BTN. Okay, then let's remove the text from here, cut it and paste here within the text property, paste. Okay, now when we click on this button in the browser, it should, like it should click and the job should be applied, or it's going to check whether the user is logged in or not. Okay, for that we need to take here one command name, that is apply job. Can give any name. Here I am taking apply job. Save it. Okay, here can give any name or text you want. I'm just using apply job, which is relevant to this link button. Okay, so let's go to this job details page. Now here inside this data list item command, this link button is comes under this uh, data list control. Okay, so we can get access to this link button when the link button is clicked. Okay, so for that, here the item command event will first here check whether the command name, that is e dot command name, is equal to the name that we have given in the design page, that is apply job. Copy from here and paste it here. If it is same, then it will going to allow to execute or pass in this if block. Okay, now here now it will confirm that whether the user is logged in or not. Okay, so for that we'll check here condition within the if block. So the user's session will going to check here whether session value is null or not. So the session name, that is user. Okay, if it is not null, that means user is logged in. If it is not, then in else block we need to handle that also. We need to redirect the user to the login page, right? So we'll copy this line of code, copy and paste in else block. So we'll take them to login page. Okay, save it. Now with here inside this, we'll take here one try catch block. Then finally block. Okay, so inside this try block, we'll take first connection. Okay, that we're going to copy from here. We'll copy the code from till here and paste here inside the try block. So let's change the query. When we click on the button, the data should be inserted the table. Okay, that and the table name here, that is applied job. So let's remove this. Applied jobs, insert into applied jobs. Okay, here we'll give values bracket give @ job id comma @ user id. Remove this part, save. Okay, so we are passing two columns for inserting data. Let's check the table applied job. Okay, so we didn't create any table for that. Okay, first we need to select this the database. Okay, that can run this query, use job portal, or can select it from here as well. So right now we are inside this job portal database. Okay, now what we want, one table with the name applied jobs. Okay, so let's create table. For that, create table name, that is uh, applied jobs. The first column name, that is applied job ID. Copy, paste here, should be integer. Primary key, then it should be identity, comma, the second column, that is job ID, should be integer, comma, then user ID should also integer. Okay, so three columns we are going to use here. So basically it stores the job ID and the user ID, so which will tell that which user has applied which job with their IDs. Okay, so let's create it, execute. So our table has been created. Refresh, you can see inside the tables, that is applied job. Okay, so let's copy the table name, make sure that table name here we pass should be same. Okay, then we're going to pass here job ID and user ID. Okay, and for that we need one more, copy, paste. So the job ID that is coming from the query string, that is right, and for the user ID, that will going to come from the session. So we'll copy the session from here. But we don't want here user name, like user unique name, that is username. Okay, but I want user ID to be inserted in table, right? So for that I want to take ID also. First like change this here. Okay, let's go to the login page and we'll see whether we have this one or not. If not, we'll create that. uh, Open login page, login axp.cs page. Okay, so here we have session user that store username, which is unique username, and we also taken the user ID also. So we'll copy this one and paste it here. Okay, save it. After that, we need to open the connection, con.open, and take here one integer variable. So here we'll go to write cmd dot execute non query. It will go to execute our query and give the output as an integer form like 0 or 1 or whatever. Okay, so right, it will give normally 1 because we are inserting one record at a time. So it will going to give 1 if it is successfully inserted. Okay, so for that we'll going to check here, we'll take if, and we'll check whether the variable r contains that value 1 or not. That means it will be greater than 0. That means it's get executed successfully. Okay, so we'll need to display that message, the label control, right? So we have taken the label control, the ID, that is LBL message. So we have initially set at visible for to false, visible false. Okay, so right now we need to first visible to true. Then we'll display the label label message. So what will give job applied successful. Job applied successful. Okay. Then we need to give the bootstrap class also here. LBL dot css class is to the double quotes. That is bootstrap alert success. Okay. Save it. After that we need to display the job details, right? But that is already there. Okay. Okay. Then in else block, let's copy this code from here and paste it here. So here we'll give help. Okay, here we need to change the bootstrap class from success to danger. Save it. Here in exception, response dot write into double quotes. We'll take here JavaScript alert. Okay, so for that we need to write script tag. Now we'll use alert function of JavaScript and we'll display here the message that we are getting as an exception. Okay, so for that ex dot message. Okay, so it will going to display that message here. Then and finally we'll going to close our connection. Okay, now when we click on the button, it will going to call this event, and then it will first check whether from that page only this event has been called or not. Then it will going to check whether the user is logged in or not. If it is not logged in, then it will take the user to the login page to do login first, then come back to this page. Okay, so if it is login, then it will going to insert into applied job tables. It will going to insert record of which user has applied which job. Okay, so based on that it will go to store and will give the message to the user, job applied successful. If some suppose something went wrong, then it will go to display the message cannot apply the job, please try after some time. Okay, so let's run and see. Let's close first one, find a job. Now let's open this first one job, and here and we click on this apply job, apply now. Let's click on here and add a break point here on this event. Press here, click on it, apply now. So it will take to this event. Okay, now press F10. So the command name is match. Now it will check whether the user is logged in or not. So the user is right now not logging, so it will go to execute else block and take us to the login page. Okay, so let's log in first as a user. Okay, I didn't have any user right now register. um, Let me check in database whether I'm having or not. Okay, we don't have any user, so let's now let's go to login. Go to profile. Right now we didn't upload this resume. Right now we didn't upload our resume. Okay, so let's go to here edit and upload one resume. Okay, something went wrong here while saving. Okay, let's check the table for this, like for which table it's going to update. Store in the user table. Okay, so let's open our database inside the user design. This column resume. Okay, I've taken here varchar 50. Let's make it max. Varchar max. Okay, and save it. Okay, I've recently installed this SQL Server Management Studio, so it didn't allow me to save the changes or update it in tables. So for that, like I have to go within the tools, then go to option here in designer, just untick it, untick. Okay, just make it unselect. Prevent saving changes that require table recreation. It didn't allow to um, recreate the table or update the table. Now it will allow us to update it. Okay, save. Now it's updated. Okay, now if I like so let's continue here. Now let's try to again now let now let's try to update it again. Now this time save. Okay, continue, resume, details updated successful. Okay, so let's go to profile. Now check. Now it will show our resume has been uploaded. Okay, now let's go to this find a job page and click on the first one. Then here we'll change here from application date to apply date. Okay, or whatever we can give, what we can give here, last date. Okay, we'll give the last date. Design page, save it, refresh. Now you can see the date is also now in a single line. Okay, now let's click on this apply now, but before that we need to add a breakpoint on that click event. So the job event, job details, yeah, it's already there, breakpoint. Okay, now let's click on apply now, F10. Now this time user is logged in. Okay, logged in now, so it will go inside this if block and insert the data. Oh, some error is there, let's check it. Incorrect syntax near user ID. Okay, we didn't close the bracket. Yeah, this one, the bracket we have taken, we didn't close at the end. Okay, so that's why this error came, but we'll uh, do it in a bit. Now again press on the button. Now this time let's take here bracket. Okay, save it, press F10. You can see in query variable at the end you can see the bracket is closed. Okay, so data has been saved. Can see job applied successful showing here. And now what we need to do, the user can again apply for these same jobs, so we have to prevent it from doing. Okay, so how we can do that? Let's see. For that we need to close this project and we'll do that in this event item data bound. Okay, but before that we will going to take one function. Okay, that will going to return bool variable, bool, that is boolean data type. So we'll copy code from here, copy, paste it here. Let's change the query. Select star from job, applied jobs. So while applying the job, we are saving the data inside this applied job table. Now we want to uh, check whether this user has applied the existing job right now, on which job the user is, uh, so that job is applied by the user or not. So for that we're going to fetch the data from the applied job, right? So for that this query is meant to be here. I select star from applied job, where the job ID and the user ID both we have to pass here. Okay, so it will fetch the data from the table based on the condition whether the user, which user is logged in, and the job, which job they are looking to apply. Okay, so both of the ID, if it match, then only it will going to get the data. Okay, otherwise it will not going to get the data. Okay, so after that, like first one, uh, let's copy this line, enter. Now the first, that is for user ID, let's copy, paste it here. Second, job ID, paste. The user ID is going to come from the session name is user ID, and the query string, that is ID. Okay, so let's save it, but we need to return that value here. After this, we'll check the data is being there in the dt object or not. Okay, so but here we'll take dt1, dt1 dt1 dot rows dot count. If it's equal to 1, then return true, or in else block return false. Okay, now let's come to this event, the item data bound. So here we'll check whether the user has been logged in or not. So copying this code, paste it here. Now we'll take here the link button, btn apply job. E dot item dot find control. For finding control, we need to pass the ID also, that is LB. Okay, let's get it from here in the design page. This one, LB apply job, copy, paste it here. then we need to typecast it as link button semicolon. So now we'll get the details of that button from the data list control inside this btn apply job object. Okay, now here we'll call our function that we have taken is applied function. If it is true, returns true, then it will going to execute this if block, or else it will going to execute the else block. Okay, so in if block, if it is applied, okay, then what we do here, so we'll do here that the button link button, the object that we are getting here taken here, okay, so we'll make it hidden, or like the user can't click on it. When they are about to click, they can't click that button. Okay, so that is btn apply job dot enable will set to false, so button will be there but user can't select that button. Okay, now we'll uh, change the text also from apply now to applied, because the job has been applied by the user. Okay, so they come to know that job has been applied by the user. Okay, what happens if didn't match any data? Okay, then in else log will make it true again, and the text apply now. Okay, now let's run this project. uh, we have already applied for this first one job right now. Okay, but still, okay, let's add a breakpoint on this data item bound. Okay, okay, but right now we didn't log in, so that's why it's showing apply now. Let's log in and see. Continue. Now we can see, yeah, the button is now enabled is going to false. That means user can't click on that, and the text will display that applied. Text will display as applied. Okay, can see now I can't click on this button, and the text also changed to applied. That means user has applied to this job. Okay, again go to this find a job page. We click on the second job. Now user can apply the second job. Okay, but they can't apply for the first job because they have already applied the first job. Okay, let's apply this also. Apply now. It will take us to this Visual Studio Code. So job has been applied. You can see success message, and But one thing, after user has applied the job for this second one, still this button didn't change. Okay, for that we need to call one here code that when the job has been applied successfully, after that here we need to call that the function used for displaying the details. Okay, so we'll copy that and we'll add here after this one, but we but right now we can't add because the project is in debugging mode. Okay, so let's run. Okay, let's go to this find a job again. Now we click on the second job. Continue continue we'll able to see that job has been applied, but after the page has been refreshed. But I want when the job is applied at that time only this button should change. Okay, now let's go to this find a job page. Now let's uh, go to the third one. Continue. Okay, and we click on this apply now. This time, okay, so first it will call this item data bound F10. Now it will go to uh, call that, yeah, now it came to this item command where it will go to insert. Okay, after successful insert I want to paste that code, save it. Okay, now this time it will go to change that button text also from apply now to applied after applying this job. Press on continue. Now you can see the success message, and this time the button will also change to apply. Now can't he or she can't click on the this button and can't apply for this job because they have already applied for this particular job. So now let's log out and register with a new account. Let's log in. And profile, let's upload a resume. Let's remove this breakpoint. Continue. Resume has been updated. Go to profile. Now you can see uploaded. Okay, now let's go to the find a job page, and when we click on this first job, it's so for apply job, but take me to this page, so we'll remove this breakpoint. Okay, continue. So right now I'm clicking on this apply now, so let's remove this breakpoint. Continue. So job has been applied successful, and here button text also change applied, so you can't apply job again for this particular job. Okay, now if we click on the second one or any job, so can find for applying a job here. Okay, let's log out and check for again for the first user. This user has applied first three jobs, and click on this can see applied. That means it's working perfectly. Okay, and mm, okay, we have seen, I think, contact page. Yeah, we have seen contact page, then about page is already done, and home page and your job page also done. Can apply job also, profile also done. Then editing profile as well as uploading this resume also done. Okay, and the logout functionality is also done in this user part, user module. And now we'll, in the next video we'll do in the admin modules, like the user who has applied for which job. For that we'll going to create a page where it will display how many jobs has been applied by the user, so it will going to display in that page. So we'll see in the next video. Till then, bye, take care, thank you for watching.